You crazy Dutch bastard!
That is why you fail.
Who in their right mind, Kevin, could possibly deny the 20th century was entirely mine? All of it, Kevin! All of it!
This video is a perfect demonstration of how important the numbers are to them. There's many people that come into my channel and say, oh, I agree with you in a lot of things you say, but these numbers you mention are ridiculous. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Yes, exactly. You don't get it. You don't understand it. That this is how they operate. They operate through the number system. I'm going to play this video. It's going to be crystal clear for all to see. Again, they're all about the numbers. Take a look.
About to break a big record tonight. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
They call it the Peggy Factor, Mission Control's code word for the way superstar astronaut Peggy Whitson always gets the job done.
I love it up here.
Tonight, Commander Whitson making history with her record for any American. By the time she lands in September, her tally will be 666 days in space.
Before she arrives back to Earth, 666 days. You think that's just a coincidence? Of course, it's planned. These are occultists. NASA is nothing more than an occultic organization run by the satanic government. That simple.
With more spacewalks, currently 8, than any other female astronaut. She says what matters is the mission.
I'm not here because of the record, but
I'll stop right here. The so-called Peggy Whitson, the astronaut, and basically like another transgender crisis actor, like I mentioned before. These people have never been in space. They're just actors, nothing more than deceivers. And one thing I want to get into is the number game, like I mentioned so many times. While the masses see these so-called names, these so-called elite see the numbers behind the names, with Peggy being a 33 name and Whitson being a 36, which is 3 6s. And like I mentioned before, with astronaut, which is also a play on names, with astronaut never being in space, with astronaut being 33 as well. Now let's continue on again at this point with the video. I'll back up a little bit more.
But I think having the record is important because we have to continue to progress. We have to continue to take the next step.
Whitson is perhaps a surprising interstellar star. At 9, growing up
very manly,
but extremely manly, she watched the moon landing and her dream was born.
Well, at the time, young girls weren't supposed to do those kinds of things.
She persevered, earning a PhD in biochem and landing a job with NASA.
Definitely very manly in these photos.
Then, overcoming the long odds. It was 10 years before...
Right here. And this is exactly what the elite love. It's basically blurred lines. You don't know if this is a man or a woman.
NASA decided she had the right stuff to become an astronaut. Her favorite thing about being in space? Simply seeing the Earth. From North Africa's red...
So fake, so phony.
...to the Caribbean blues. From...
This is all CGI. Okay, this is the purpose of course, all the so-called space missions and ISS. I mean, nothing about this is real. But you can tell people that are in love with the whole idea of outer space. Because, again, I said it so many times, the fantasy is better than the reality. And this is all science fiction. That's all it is.
So far away.
We need to do more to be one Earth, one people.
Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
That's enough of that. Now I want to get into, again, the numbers game. Like I mentioned before, first name being a 33, the 3 6s, and astronaut being 33. Now, I found this very interesting with Bart Sibrels, Astronauts Gone Wild, in this interview with Apollo 12, supposed Apollo 12 astronaut Alan Bean. Take a listen to what he says here. Again, they speak in code. Take a listen.
The air conditioning. What powered the air? Batteries. You had a number of big batteries in the lunar module. They powered pumps. They powered the air conditioning, they powered the communication system, and that's the reason we were only able to stay on the moon 33 hours.
Stay on the moon for only 33 hours. Of course, they'd never been to the moon, never been in space, and it's just coded with their number 33. Just like when Edgar Mitchell supposedly passed away in this article. I covered this a while back, where they supposedly had a the record of 3 men being on the moon for a record of 33 hours on the moon surface. Obvious for those that are awake. And again, for those that turn a blind eye to the numbers game, you don't understand how these people operate. This is their language. Until you understand that, you're not fully awake. You're only partially awake. Just like I pointed out a long time ago, this goes back to October 16, 2015. I've been making flat earth videos since around, I would say, April, May of 2015. This one, again, particular videos, October 16, 2015. And according to science, which is nothing more than deception, of course, science and science fiction are one and the same, like I mentioned before, with the Earth supposedly 23.4 degrees on its axis. And that leaves you, of course, the occultic number, again, 66.6 degrees off, being horizontal. So, again, these numbers are always going to be there. Just like I showed before as well, Earth is supposedly orbiting around the Sun at 66,600 miles an hour. All these fabricated numbers, all based around the occult. Not just the so-called ball Earth. When you look at, not just NASA as well, you look at the European Agency, the so-called nuclear research, CERN, and you see the 666 hidden in the logo. Just like, as I show many times as well, with Google Chrome, and you see the 3 6s and the flat earth model, you see the ice ring and the oceans in the center. There's no land, but this is definitely, basically represents 666 around the world. And just another look here as well when it comes to the UN logo, which of course is basically the flat earth model. Of course, as I mentioned as well, there just so happens to be 33 segments within the UN logo. So basically, for all the deniers of the number system that these people operate off, you're just incomplete now. You don't want to believe it. You want to believe you have some type of intelligence. In the school system, which is nothing more than the indoctrination centers throughout not only this country, throughout the world. They're all masons that own and control not only the U.S. school system, but throughout this whole entire world, which is owned and controlled by these satanic masons.
The moon is flat?
Are spheres. You know, the reason I became a physicist, I've always loved to test and yank on spheres. They're everywhere in space, and sometimes they even bump into each other, and when they do, they go this way and that. They might fly here or there. If they break into new pieces, well, guess what? They just reform as spheres again. Because spheres, like science, are perfect. But sometimes there's some bigger spheres, and they are not kind to smaller ones. Sometimes the bigger ones even call the small ones small cocks. Small cocks. Little tiny baby cocks. And for almost no reason at all. We can't all be great and overwhelming. So we need a way for little spheres to push away the big ones. And that's why I became a scientist. Because this way I'm always right. Then I can handle myself by simply shaming anyone who doesn't worship the sphere like I do. There's nothing more perfect in the entire world than spheres. I love them.
When it comes to the photo of NASA and the supposed ball Earth, it's all from the Bible. Talk about how they like to turn things upside down. As I stated so many times, these so-called elite know the Bible inside and out. So when you see the name Mickey for Mickey Mouse, you look at this reflection in this coffee cup. Let's take a closer look at this. This is how they conceived the name Mickey. Turn it upside down and it spells out wicked. This is how clever they are. The sick and twisted world of Walt Disney and Disneyland. People say Walt Disney's for children. It's a people trap set by a mouse. Just taking a look at Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, both MM for 33. As I mentioned before, why are the ears shaped like this? Not shaped round like this. Of course, as you can see here, the shape of a 3 turned sideways. basically coded for MM for 33 for Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. You're going to lie to us in the news and tell us truth in the movies. Those that own and control this world control it all. And that definitely includes Hollywood. Taking a look at Small Soldiers, a 1998 Hollywood movie. Take a look at this image here with this kid Alan. In front of his computer monitor, he has a sign that says "Question Reality." And what does it show? The ball Earth. How obvious can it be? All the videos I'm making about the flat Earth, you see this right in plain sight. Pretty unbelievable how the so-called elite love to mock us. They watch movies and have no clue what's taking place. Now, taking a look at this scene here with the character Alan sleeping in his bed and the toy soldier comes to life. Interesting enough, he starts fiddling with his computer that said "Question Reality," keeps clicking on the mouse, and let's take a look at this footage. As you just saw, a lot of the images flashed very fast across the computer screen. I captured many of the images. I'm going to show them, not in chronological order, but in order so people can connect the dots. First one here is explorers, pretty much in the beginning, people exploring this world. There is an image of Christopher Columbus. They also show Ferdinand Magellan, who supposedly circumvented the world, the first to circumvent the world in a boat. And like I said, supposedly. This is our fabricated history. Everything is a lie.
I'm lost, boss. What are we saying here?
There's a lot of smoke there, but there's some fire.
We're talking about our government here.
No, we're talking about a crime, Bill, pure and simple. Y'all gotta start thinking on a different level, like the CIA does. Now, we're through the looking glass here, people. White is black, and black is white.
Getting on to topic of the moon and the moon landing, of course they're going to show this. One of the biggest hoaxes in history. Now I'm going to get onto the flat Earth topic. Take a look at this image of Antarctica that flashed very briefly on the screen. Interesting enough, they show this image as well from Antarctica with all these flags and the dome. This is, of course, mockery. We live under a dome, as it states in the Bible. And this is from the New American Standard Bible, the one who built his upper chambers in heaven and has founded his vaulted dome over the earth. How obvious can it be? Everything we've been told is a lie. Everything has always been in plain sight, like I said so many times. Now let's take a look at this ancient Hebrew concept of the universe. I pointed this out before. I'm going to briefly run through it. I get a lot of questions about asteroids. What about craters? Everything is within the firmament. When you get a crater, it's from falling stars. Nothing is beyond the firmament besides water and heaven above. And also, like I stated so many times, everything they tell us is the exact opposite. So if they tell you the sun is 93 million miles away, it's very distant when it actually is close. This is the law of reversal. Same with the moon. When they tell us the moon is approximately 238,000 miles away, and it's all within the firmament, the dome.
The Lord tells me he can get me out of this mess, but he's pretty sure you're fucked.
Interesting enough, getting back to the images from Small Soldiers, they mention the Dome of the Rock and the occult of the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. Just think about that name, the Dome of the Rock. This is the rock which represents the land we live on, the flat earth. And this is the dome above the rock. Again, another image. Small Soldiers. Again, they show the ball earth. As I showed earlier, it's actually a different clip where it says "Question Reality." Just get a little bit of a close-up, and there you go. and they're teaching that we live on a ball Earth. Why? Because NASA says so. Taking a look at this image, many people have seen this already. Nothing adds up. Specifically North America with these two images, specifically from 2002 and 2012. Look at the size difference. Look at 1997 as well. You're going to tell me this Earth will rotate, be as large, North America will be as large as it's shown here? Give me a break. These are all composites, all fakery. Astronauts have never been in space. Never have, never will. They cannot get past the dome. Getting back to the movie aspect, as I've shown before, again, with all the Freemasons in the game, all the Hollywood directors, writers, and producers all on the same page. This is from the 1985 Back to the Future movie, the opening scene with all the clocks, and you can obviously see this is the flat Earth model, just like the UN flag or the UN logo. And as I showed before in a previous video, Bam Margera, with his movie called The Ming Hags, when you see it back on the chalkboard, you see the flat Earth model, you get a close-up, and what does it say? Science 101. Again, just more mockery. Easily explained with a simple demonstration. I'm getting a lot of questions about satellites. You know, this is their evidence that the Earth is a ball. Now let's take a look at these images of these satellites. Do these look real to you? I want you people that talk about satellites all the time to show me a real image of a satellite. All you get are these CGI images, not a single real image of a satellite anywhere. Why is that? All we get is this fake garbage. You get a CGI satellite, you get a CGI planet, all bogus, 100%. So, for all you people coming to my channel, talking about satellites, make a video, produce real satellites. You can't do it because they don't exist, period. Supposedly close to 3,000 satellites up in space. Again, all we get is this fake garbage. Now let's look at what ISS has to produce as far as real satellites. Get that fake garbage. You get this. Make any fake satellites. I guess any. Oh, here's one. This must be real because this video is provided by NASA. But all you get, again, is computer animated garbage. Your whole life is nothing but garbage. Full of lies. That's all you get. You get angry at so-called conspiracy theorists who tell you the truth. Haters of truth, lover of lies. And some might ask, how does technology such as GPS and other technology that require satellites? It's very simple. All by ground towers, high-power ground towers, and under-ocean fiber optic cables.
The moon is flat?
And in case there are any conspiracy theorists out there, how would you prove to us that you're in zero gravity?
The moon is flat?
Second-hand unwind. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time.
The moon is flat?
Nothing more to say. When she's dancing next to me. As far as I'm concerned.
science with science fiction.
The earth was flat, if you went too far, you would fall off. Now the earth is round, if the shape change again, everybody would have started laugh. No time to plan, no time to read.
Is the Earth actually a flat disk and we've all been deceived?
The moon is flat.